Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of review and then give you guys your homework and you'll be good to go. So, first off, the objectives, finding slope of a line, using slope to identify parallel and perpendicular lines. You're going to be able to write an equation of a line, give information about the graph, and then solve those problems by writing an equation. A lot of it we'll do today in this lesson. Actually, it's 2 lessons, and some we'll do on another day. So this is a review, so let's talk. You always, when we're looking at these, you read a book. Left to right. Okay, you always read a book left to right. If that's the case, when we look at this right here, and we're reading left to right, that is going to have a positive slope. If we're looking at this one, we read again left to right, so it starts up here and works its way down, which is going to be a negative slope. For this one, it's just a zero slope because it's a constant. And then for the last one, it's going to be undefined because it's a vertical line. All right, so for numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, you're given this graph and you're trying to find the slope. Remember, slope is just rise over run. So again, you want to look at this left to right. So you're reading left to right. And because this one comes first, you're going to try to get to this one up here. And how do you do that? We're going to go up how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over to the point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the slope is 3. Wait, 1, 2, 4. Okay, so if we keep looking down, let's look at number 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and over to the Q. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our slope here is going to be negative because it's going down. 1, 2, 3, over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you have to reduce. Here's your answer. Okay, so if we're given ordered pairs, we then want to find the slope using that. So here's how this works. We've got m equals, and we know it's going to be a fraction. Okay, and if you need to, you can write x1, y1, x2, y2. If you need to do that, go for it. It'll just help in the long run. So up here, you're going to do -1 minus the 5. And on the bottom, you're going to do a 6 minus a -2. This one right here is part of the formula. So is that. So we get -6 over positive 8 reduce 3 over 4. Sorry, -3 over 4. Let's look at number 7. M equals 2 minus -4 all over 9 minus 9. Okay, well, those will turn into positives, so we get 6 over 0. Bad, very bad, very bad. This right there is very bad. Because of that 0 under the bottom, it's undefined. Now, if we're looking at number 8, we have -3 minus a -3 all over 0 minus a -7. We'll spin into positives, and we get 0 on top over 7. If the 0 is on top, then the slope is 0. Okay, so if we're going to practice the slope here, you're going to go left to right again, left to right. Start here, we're going to go up 1, 2. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the slope is going to be 2 over 6, which is 1/3. Yes, you can count it that way. If you don't want to count it, you want to use the formula, then you need to make sure you use those points that they're giving you. Okay? So why don't you try right now 2 through 6. So turn the video off, work on those, and then come back for the answers. All right, so here are the answers for that top one, and then here they are for the bottom. So if we keep going, these are exactly the same. I'm going to do one. So we get 4 minus a -11 over 17 minus a -8. Okay, those become positive. And what are we left with? We've got 15 over 35. 35, 25. Oh, 35. Did I make a mistake? No, that's positive. Okay, yeah, it's 25. Thought it was a 13 there, or an 18. That's not good. So, and we can reduce this by 5. So we know that the slope is going to equal 3 over 5. Okay? All right, why don't you try the rest and then come back for the answers. All right, there you go. There's those answers. Hopefully you did them. Hopefully you did them. Moving on. All right, so now we're going to talk about parallel and perpendicular. Parallel lines have the same slope. Okay, perpendicular lines have the opposite reciprocal slopes. So change the sign and flip a whole number to a fraction, or flip the fraction to another fraction. Flip the fraction to another fraction or whole number. That's right. So if we look at number 1, it's positive, so we got to make this one negative, and then you flip it. 4/3. Okay, if we have this one, it's going to be positive 8/7. Go back to number 2. Put that over 1. We get negative 1/2. That over 1, we get negative 1/1. Okay, the opposite of 0, so this is 0/1. The other one would be 1/0, which is undefined. Okay, so if we're looking at the first one right here, not sure why I won't let, there we go. And it wants a slope of line AB. That means you're going to use these 2 points right there. Okay, so it's going to be m equals 6 minus 3 over 2 minus a minus 2. So this becomes positive, and we get m equals 3/4. So that goes here. Now it wants us to do the slope of line CD. So those become positive, and we get the slope is 3/4 also. So what type of lines are they? Well, they're the exact same slope, so that means they're parallel. So you're going to do that for all the way down to number 5, and then come back and look at the answers. So pause the video, do the problems. Okay, so now that you've tried them all, let's look and see if you got the right answers. So I'm not going to do these problems. They're exactly the same as the first 5. So let's go to this next page. And now we have equations of lines. Slope-intercept form is the form that you want to use when you go to graph. Okay, so slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. M stands for the slope, b stands for the y-intercept. Standard form you can get from the slope-intercept form in another equation, and vice versa. You can get the slope-intercept form from the standard form. So standard form is ax plus by equals c, where there is one stipulation. That's where a has to be a whole number and positive. Has to. We come down here, vertical lines. Vertical line is written in the form x equals a, where a represents the line's x-intercept. So this right here is the x-intercept. Right there. Okay? And if that's the x-intercept, x is going to equal -1. Here in this one, the horizontal lines, a horizontal line is written in the form y equals a, where a represents the line's y-intercept. Which means y equals 1, 2, 3, and then you're done. Okay. So for these problems, you're going to be looking at writing the equation. The equation, please remember, is y equals mx plus b. All right, so the first things first, the y-intercept, which is your b, is that guy. So y equals x, and your b is 1, 2, 3. So -3. Now we need to figure out what to put there. So what you're going to do is you're going to go from this point up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 2. So it's up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over 2. So 4 over 2. So to clean it up, y equals 2x minus 3. That's all it is. Okay, I want you guys to finish up this page. Or how about if you do, yeah, finish 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, go. And check your answers, make sure they're right. Moving on to the next page. Okay, with these, you need to take the standard form and convert it to the slope-intercept form. So convert from standard form to slope-intercept form. So you want to solve for y here. Subtract. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to subtract the x. So y equals -x plus 6. And I'm done. That's it. That's it. That's it. Let's look at 9. Subtract the 2x. -4y equals -2x plus 28. Divide by -4. So y is going to equal 1/2 x minus 7. Okay, let's go to the next page. Now it's asking you to determine whether the equations are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Okay, so if it's parallel, the slopes are going to be the same. If it's perpendicular, they're going to be opposite reciprocals. And if they don't follow either one of those, they're neither. Yeah, let's do the first one. This right here, the slope is 5. The slope over here is 5. Therefore, it's parallel. Okay, over here, our slope is -3 over 2. Our slope here is 2 over 3. Perpendicular. Or you can write that symbol. Yes, I don't care. Okay, why don't you guys try solving for... Ooh, let's look at 11. What's this? Hey, what was that all about? Look at 11. What do you think that's going to be? Well, if you go to graph this, seven. And we said, all right, here's x equals 2. And here's y equals -7. Huh. Well, it literally looks like what the answer should be. Perpendicular. Okay. What if we were looking at this one? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we go. X equals 9. And then x equals -5. Those are what? Perpendicular. No. Parallel. So that concludes the lesson today. The next page will have your homework out of the book. So please make sure you do that and make sure you draw pictures and show all your work. All right, so there's your homework pages. Page 193 to 194, 13 through 39 odd. Page 202 to 203, 13 through 29 odd. Due on Thursday for first period, due on Friday for second period.